My name is Naama Weinberg. I'm the cousin of Itai Svirsky, which was kidnapped from Kibbutz Be'eri on October 7th after witnessing his mother's murder. He was executed by his guard on the 99th day in captivity. And since then, his body is still held in Gaza by Hamas. I'm here to share Itai's story, and through that, hoping to help the other hostages to be released and to be back before it's too late, because for Itai, we didn't make it at time, and I hope that he would be the last one. On October 7th, when the missiles began all over Israel, actually, I woke up to the sounds of the sirens. And when I checked the news and saw the reports about the possible infiltration, and my family lives in Kibbutz Be'eri, which is just 5 kilometers from the border, I checked up what is up with them. And the messages in our family WhatsApp group started coming in. The first one was from Orit, Itai's mother. He was visiting his parents and our grandmother in the kibbutz, and he was staying at his mother's house. And she told us at 7:30 that they hear lots of shootings and gunfire, and it sounds very close. It's at the neighbor's house. She was telling us she's very afraid and that they don't know what to do. And it went like that for a few hours. My aunt, my uncle, Itai, my cousin, my grandmother, which is 97 years old, with her caregiver, a Filipino woman, in a different house. Other aunts and uncles, Itai's brother, all separated in 5 different houses in the kibbutz. And at 10:15, Itai's father, Rafi, wrote us, "They're here, call for help." That was the last message we got from him. He was found shot in with his 3 dogs in his shelter. Half an hour after that, Itai and Dorit told us that all the windows in the house were shuttered, and they were asking, what are they saying on the news? Because they still didn't understand what is going on. The last message came at 11:15 from Orit, which was just a red heart. Orit was murdered, and later on we figured out that Orit was shot in and Itai was surrendering. He stood up, so they won't kill him, but they took him hostage. And we didn't know anything about Itai until the first hostage deal. After 54 days, we got a message from one of the hostages that were held with him and was released, telling us for the first time that he's alive, which was good news at the time, because we really didn't know if he was injured or did he survive the attack or was he taken dead. And she was telling us about the conditions they were held in, about the lack of food and the bad sanitary. They were all very sick, and Itai was having high fever most of the time there. And then we didn't hear anything again until January 14th, 100 days for the kidnapped. Hamas released a video that Itai and 2 other hostages, Yossi Sharabi and Noar Gamani, are talking in the video, presenting themselves and asking for help. At the end of the video, there's a caption, "Tomorrow we will tell you what is their destiny." How Itai looked in that video, that's not Itai. Sorry. In that video, he was skinny and sick and weak. His voice has changed. He doesn't sound like himself. And you could see in his eyes that he lost hope, which was a devastating thought. And one of the things, the hostage, one of the things that one of the hostages that were held with him told us is that when she was released, he told her that he made peace with the death. And the day after that, they released another video, the same one showing them talking, but at the end, not that caption, but a picture of their bodies. Itai's body and Yossi Sharabi's body. So out of 3 hostages that were held together, only one survived, Noar Gamani. And thinking and knowing that he was there, kind of understanding that he won't get out of this alive, is a heartbreaking thought. And he died with the feeling that we couldn't save him. And he died in a very hard place after a long time of suffering. I could just hope that he knows that we are a strong family and that we did everything and beyond everything we could. There's no way to be prepared to what happened. The thoughts, they're here, they're there the whole time. You know, your mind goes to all the possibilities, but you could never imagine what would you feel if something like that really happened and you hear that news. And we would never imagine to figure that out from a video. And you can't be prepared to it. It's heartbreaking in a way that you can't imagine. And you know, you also don't let yourself go that way the whole time. Because if I would think that would be the end of Itai the whole time, until 100 days, until we saw that videos, I wouldn't have the energy to go all around the world and to share the story one time and again and again and again. And we wouldn't have the strength we needed in order to continue to act. I think that maybe like in such extreme situations, you find strength and abilities you would never believe you had. We have a big family and a very close one, and Kibbutz Be'eri is like the center of our family. So it's not only the loss of the people and in which way we lost them, but it's the whole. When he died, when he was murdered, I thought that it's just a matter of a few days until all the other hostages will be released, because I really hoped that Itai's murder would, you know, change the situation. It would explain and it would understand, it would make people understand how much they don't have the time there, and that every day could be the last one for each and every one of them. But since then, it's doubles the time almost that he was there. And I still can't understand how we got to 6 months. At the beginnings, we counted days and weeks and months, and now it's half a year. That's proportions we could never believe we would get to. The situation is complicated. The reality is complicated. Life is complicated. War is complicated. Conflict is complicated. That's how the world is. But the majority of people in Israel support the release of the hostages. They understand that civilians that were taken out of their houses Saturday morning is not a reality we as a society can accept. And if the hostages won't be released, it's practically the saying that these kind of things are okay. And we as a society, as an Israel society, and then as a world society, as the whole liberal, free, democratic world, are okay with things like that happening, and that it can happen again. And I don't see that as an option. I don't see that as a reality I can live with.